All right, we are a couple of months to go before the end of the year. And Robert, do you know what happens at the end of the year?
The next year starts.
That too. And we find out whether the economists, whether the real estate forecasters, and anybody else who is observing real estate was right or wrong with their forecasts and estimates. This is Real Estate Chat with
John de Perez.
and Robert Eid. And Robert, you and I work for Remax, and no need to hide that. Yes, we are realtors. It says so in our channel description. And we're going to draw on Remax's estimate in terms of how sales look, in terms of how prices look, and then we're going to completely dissect it and tell you, do we agree? Do we disagree? Are they being safe? Is there much worse to come? Or is everything just going to be okay? We're going to find that out. Robert, why don't you take it away and sort of, this is an overview of everything. We'll link this in the show description. But generally, Robert, it's telling us that, so far, year to date, year over year changes have been down for primarily everything except Calgary, Alberta. It's up 3%. And maybe Saskatoon, which is up 1% in Saskatchewan. But everywhere else across the country, from the west coast to the east coast, again, except for Charlottetown, PEI is up 1.7. So it seems like there's only a few places where the prices haven't dipped. Everywhere else is single to double digits. And same with sales. Robert, what do we take from this?
Well, this is a awful lot of information. Residential prices comparing a portion of a year to a portion of a year. The number of sales, portion of a year to a portion of a year. Number of listings, portion of a year, portion of a year. Year-end estimate. So from wherever we were at the beginning, first quarter of this year to the end of the year, and what that number might be, and then what the change will be. So this is looking at an awful lot of things. And as I've said 566 times, depending on your starting point and depending on your finishing point, you can get two different answers. Now, I agree with you that this is a summary of not bad. People have been predicting the bottom to drop out, to collapse, whatever you want to call it. And this does not indicate that. What this indicates is that, and this is, they go around to everybody in each one of these zones and say, what do you think about what's happening in your neighborhood? It's not somebody in the golden castle looking from afar. So they're saying that listings have gone up, sales have gone down, prices really haven't changed a great deal. And if we look at the future from the first quarter, which was kind of quiet with a Zoom starting, to the end of the year, there'll be very small change.
So let me take off my real estate hat for a bit and let me be skeptical. And because this was taken by a survey of local realtors, local brokerages, and they asked them, how do you feel? And what do you forecast the market will be doing? Isn't there a bias there, Robert, that we as realtors, me not being a realtor, let me take off my hat. Isn't there a bias that you realtors would obviously make this not as bad as it seems? I mean, look, rates have gone up, prices have dipped, sales have dipped. Why isn't it ending as bad as it should? It should be down 20 to 30%. Why not?
Well, the sales indicate, just like you say. And so that's why you've got to separate into two things. What's the number of transactions and what's the average price? And all the way along, you and I have discussed that, yes, sales are off by 30% from the north, but the number of listings is also down. So if you're an active participant, you are in the same mix of buyer and seller as you've had for the longest time. That's why it's the 10-year average. We're 30% below. It's a subdued market. Nobody wants to pay the price unless they have to. And if they find in their price range that they have to, well, they either have to or do nothing. And if they can't do nothing, then they have to buy in at the current available price.
And so some of our viewers who have subscribed to this channel so that they never miss us chatting about real estate all day long have seen our previous episodes where we talk about the housing market bubble. Rates haven't gone up. Rates haven't gone up recently. All of these issues that are currently prevailing. Robert, we did a 2023 forecast not so long ago. And for those of you who have never seen it, go back a couple of episodes ago to earlier this year when, I think it was late last year, earlier this year when we did that. we did a recent update of the episode, and prices are going to look what, flat? Are they going to be sub $1 million here in the Greater Toronto area? Where do you think prices? What's your opinion? Do you agree with this Remax results, or do you see something differently for GTA?
Oh, yes, I do agree. Because the Greater Toronto Area, which is sort of what the Trev is, year-over-year change in the number of listings down 23%. Yeah. Change in price up 2.5%. And year end from first quarter up 2.5, maybe it'll be flat. So you can't worry too much unless you're actually buying or selling. If you're buying or selling, then you've got to contend with the price and the interest rate, because it's the interest rate that's killing us. That we looked at it a long time ago, saying that every time they move the rate up by a point, every time they move the rate up by 2 points, by 3 points, it changes the affordability. And then we got the stress test on top of it. So do I agree with it? Yes.
Well, the biggest thing here to notice as well is the year-over-year change in the number of listings as reported on this particular report. And what we're seeing right now, even though the listings are going up, it's still, I mean, I guess what's left to see in the fall market is, will sales and inventory jive? Like, as inventory gets introduced into the market, will there be enough sales to absorb them? And I think the consumer confidence is somewhat there because of the rate hike not having happened recently. It's just a matter of, I mean, we're still hearing stories about, some properties aren't selling, some offers aren't coming at offer night. So Robert, in a future episode, will probably talk about expectations that a seller should have. But what's your final piece of advice to anybody? Like, it's September 2nd, we're getting into the second week now of September. What's going to happen as far as somebody who wants to get in on the action?
Get in on the action. Again, we've got the 5 segments. Last time seller, sell. First time buyer, wait. Investor who's in the money, well, hold. Investor who's underwater, sell. And I forgot what I said now. What's the last category? Oh, trade up buyer, trade up buyer. Well, do the tough thing first. There it is. There's nothing very fancy about it. And the volume of listings.
Well, there you go.
Is anybody gonna just bail out? And
so there it is.
I'll bail out. They haven't yet. So
there it is. Well, that's what we're going to be watching for, and make sure you keep on watching episodes of Real Estate Chat, where we will keep you posted on how the inventory's situation is looking, how's the sales situation looking, and what's going to happen to September. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We'll link this report into the show description. Take care and bye for now.
See you later.